Assalamu alaikum students, and today we will learn about an important cell organelles called plastid. In this lecture we will learn about type, structure and function of plastids. The term plastid was used for the first time by A.E.W. Shepard in 1885 to include the organelles involved in the synthesis and storage of carbohydrates. Shepard and Meyer in 1883 to 85 discovered these organelles. These are the second largest organelles of the cell and are scattered in the cytoplasm of all green plants. The plastids are of following three types: leucoplast, chromoplast, chloroplast. One form of the plastid can change into another form. The transitional stages from leucoplasts to chromoplasts can be easily observed in tomato fruits. In its ovary wall, the cells contain leucoplast, but in the young green fruits, the cells contain chloroplast, which have been formed by the modification of leucoplast. On maturity, the chloroplasts change into chromoplasts, as a result of which the color of fruits change into orange or red. Leucoplasts, and these are plastids without any pigments and are chiefly concerned with food storage. They are found in embryonic cells, gametes, meristematic region, seeds, and in underground parts. So let's discuss its structure. They may be spherical, discoidal, or rod-like in shape. They are of the following three types: amyloplasts. These store starch. They are found in tubers, cotyledon, and endosperms. Most prominently present in the roots. Helioplasts. These are found in certain monocotyledon, and their function is to store oils. Amylioplasts and elaioplasts are examples of leucoplasts that store starch and lipids. Chromoplasts. These contain pigments of various colors. They are of following types. Phycoplasts contain phycoxanthin, which is actually carotenoids pigment found in brown algae. It is commonly found in diatoms and dinoflagellates. Rhodoplasts contain phycoerythrin, a red-colored pigment. These are found in red algae. Chromatophores, their pigments are arranged in concentric rings or plates. These are found in bacteria and blue-green algae. They can further be classified into following subtype: blue-green chromatophores. These contain phycocyanin, chlorophyll and carotenoids. These are found in blue-green algae. The other type is bacterial chromatophores. These contain bacteriochlorophyll found in a photosynthetic bacteria. Carotenoids containing chromatophores, and these are found in certain bacteria, fungi, and higher plants. In higher plants, yellow, orange, and red color carotenoids are present in parts such as variegated leaves of Croton, petals of flower, and roots of some plants. These are derived usually from the chloroplast and are rarely from the leucoplast. The common example of their derivatives from chloroplast is seen in the petals, which appear green initially and become colored subsequently. Similarly, in carrot roots, chromoplasts are derived from the leucoplast. The chromoplast in the red tomato contains the red pigment lycopene, while those in capsicum contain capsanthin. Okay, the third type of plastid is chloroplast. Chloroplasts in a plant cell exist as a membrane-bound cell organelles and contain chlorophyll pigments that are absent in animal cells. Chloroplast is a type of plastids which exist as a double membrane-bound cell organelles that produce energy through photosynthesis. The study of chloroplast was first carried by a scientist named Hugo Von Mohl in the year 1837. After his study, it was found that the chloroplasts were the type of plastids and named chloroplast by scientist Schepper in 1883. Then Edward Strasburger coined the term chloroplast in 1884. Chloroplasts are plastid organelles mostly present in plants. They may be formed 1 to 100 or more chloroplasts per cell. Chloroplasts are the most prominent member of larger family of plant organelles. As you can see in the picture, chloroplasts are present in the mesophyll cell of leaf. All green plant parts have chloroplast and carried out photosynthesis. The leaves have the most chloroplast and the green color comes from chlorophyll in the chloroplast. The pigment absorbs light energy. Chloroplast possesses variable size that differ from one plant to another plant. The length of chloroplast ranges 5 to 10 micrometers and the diameter ranges from 2 to 4 micrometers. Number of chloroplasts. The number of chloroplasts varies between different photosynthetic organisms. For example, Chlamydomonas and Ulothrix species have 1 chloroplast per cell. Spirogyra contain 1 to 16 chloroplasts per cells. The number of chloroplasts increases in the higher plants that contain 20 to 50 chloroplasts per cells, and Chara contain 500 chloroplasts per cells. They have also variable shapes of chloroplast. For example, cup-shaped chloroplasts are present in chlamydomas, or girdle shape. Ulothrix contain a chloroplast in the middle of vegetative cells. A ribbon-shaped chloroplast is present in a Spirogyra that contain filamentous or band-like chloroplast. Oval shape are mostly present in higher plants. They have oval chloroplast, which is most common type. Okay, let's discuss the structure of chloroplast. Chloroplasts are large organelles that is 5 to 10 micrometer long. It consists of outer membrane. It is a semi-porous membrane and is permeable to small molecules and ions, which diffuses easily. The outer membrane is not permeable to larger molecules. Inner membrane space. It is usually a thin intermembrane space about 10 to 20 nanometers and it is present between the outer and inner membrane of the chloroplast. Inner membrane. The inner membrane of the chloroplast forms a border to the stroma. It regulates passage of material in and out of the chloroplast. In addition of regulation activity, the fatty acids, lipids, carotenoids are synthesized in and the inner chloroplast membrane. Stroma. Stroma is an alkaline aqueous fluid which is protein rich and is present within the inner membrane of the chloroplast. The space outside the thylakoid is called stroma. The chloroplast DNA, which we call cpDNA, chloroplast ribosomes, and the thylakoid system, starch granules, and many proteins are found floating around the stroma. Thylakoid system. The thylakoid system is suspended in the stroma. The thylakoid system is a collection of membranous sacs called thylakoids. The chlorophyll is found in the thylakoids and is the site for the process of light reaction of photosynthesis to be happen. The thylakoids are arranged in stacks known as grana. Each granum contains around 10 to 20 thylakoids. Okay, chloroplasts are only one, although the most prominent member of a larger family of plant organelles called plastid. All plastids contain the same genome as chloroplast, but they differ in both structure and function. Chloroplasts are specialized for photosynthesis and are unique in that they contain the internal thylakoid membrane system. Other plastids which are involved in different aspects of plant cells metabolism are bonded by two membranes of the plastid envelope, but lack both thylakoid membrane and other component of the photosynthetic apparatus. Okay, as we know that chloroplasts are the site of photosynthesis. Just like mitochondria, the chloroplast structure composes of permeable outer membrane, a less permeable inner membrane and intermembrane space, and stroma, which is the inner section. The chloroplast is larger than mitochondria due to the fact that it needs to be larger in size as its membrane are not folded into crystia as in case of mitochondria. Okay, in its inner membrane is also not intended for the electron transport chain but contains the light absorbing system thylakoids, which is the ATP synthetase in a third membrane that forms a series of flattened discs and the electron transport chain. The inside area in the chloroplast, also known as stroma, as we discussed earlier, is the place within the reaction occurs and sugar or starches are created. A single stack of thylakoid is called a granum, and thylakoids have a molecule of chlorophyll on their surface. Within the use of sunlight, chlorophyll creates sugar. The stroma is responsible in connecting the stack of sacs, act like the skeleton of chloroplast and keeps all of sacs at safe distance from each other and maximizing the efficiency of the organelle. Sun is the main source of energy for all life on earth. Photosynthesis is the process by which autotrophic organisms use light energy to make sugar and oxygen gas from carbon dioxide and water. Almost all plants are photosynthetic autotrophs, including some bacteria and protists. Autotrophs generate their own organic matter through photosynthesis. Sunlight energy is transformed to energy stored in the form of chemical bonds. Chloroplasts are chlorophyll-containing organelles in plant cells. They play a very important role for life on Earth since photosynthesis takes place in the chloroplast. The chloroplast is a significant semi-autonomous organelle that can absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen while converting light energy into chemical energy in green plants. Chloroplasts play an essential role in plant immunity, and effectors from diverse pathogens have evolved to directly or indirectly target chloroplast function. Chloroplasts absorb light energy and convert it into chemical energy in the process of photosynthesis. The light reaction converts solar energy to chemical energy, produce ATP and NADPH. ATP generated by light reactions provide the energy for sugar synthesis. The NADPH produced by the light reaction provides the electron for the reduction of carbon dioxide to glucose. The Calvin cycle makes sugar from carbon dioxide. Light energy harvested by plants and other photosynthetic autotrophs in the process of photosynthesis. How the light reactions generate ATP and NADPH. Two connected photosystems collect photons of light and transfer the energy to chlorophyll electrons. The excited electrons are passed from the primary electron acceptor to electron transport chain. Their energy ends up in ATP and NADPH. The electron transport chains are arranged within the photosystems in the thylakoid membrane and pump hydrogen through that membrane. The flow of hydrogen back through the membrane is supported by ATP synthesis to make ATP. In stroma, the hydrogen ions combine with NADP to form NADPH. A food web or a food chain is all of the interaction between the species within a community that involve the transfer of energy through consumption. A food web incorporates different food chains within an environment. This type of interaction occurs between producer and consumer, and between predator and prey. The transfer of energy starts with plants. So plants are able to convert sunlight into a chemical form of energy through the process of photosynthesis. One of the end product of photosynthesis is glucose, a sugar in which energy is stored. Plants are called producers because they produce their own energy without consuming another organism. Animals are called consumers. They must consume plants and other animals to obtain energy. So animals that feeds only on plants are called herbivores. So why are plants green? The simplest answer to this question is chlorophyll. Yes, chlorophyll is the only pigment which gives green color to the plant. So, plant cells have green chloroplasts. The thylakoid membrane of the chloroplast is filled with photosynthetic pigments called chlorophyll. Light, which can be seen by human eye, the visible light spectrum, is made up of rainbow of colors, stretching from purple to red color. Objects are perceived by humans as colored when the object reflects light back to our eyes. Okay, all the other visible wavelengths of light are absorbed, and we only see the reflected wavelength. Different wavelengths of visible light are seen by the human eyes as different colors, and these visible light start from 380 to 750 nanometer. So why are plants green? Leaves are green in color because of the presence of green color pigments within the plant cell called chlorophyll. Okay, sunlight minus absorbed wavelength or color equal to apparent color of an object. So same is the case with the birds. Sunlight minus absorbed wavelengths or colors equal to the apparent color of an object. Remember, the feathers of male bird are loaded with carotenoid pigments. Okay, these pigments absorb some wavelengths of light and reflect others. So the reflected light is actually red color. Okay, this is all about plastids. Hope you understood its type, structure and function. Thank you.